Okay, here we go. Little animation. Okay, first thing to do, run south. This little thing right here, this space, is your safe zone for many, 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 many waves. And you can see the spawns on the right side there, and also spawns on the west side. But right now, we're going to just wait here because there's our first ranger. Slap on range protection and go at him with our melee gear. Nothing hard. Now, when this thing dies, if you don't move, sometimes mages and stuff like that will get you, depending on this guy right here. So what to do are to lure him to go move one west. Once it dies, take a step back, and then as soon as it attacks, you take a step forward, and it's now moved over a spot. Now we're going to go kill this ranger over here. Yeah, we don't need those. So far, so simple. Okay, now since this wavefront has a crystal, we're going to go to this middle section here, and that lures the little guy over. Crystals spawn always on this spot right here that is just southeast of the middle rock. This is why we had to leave one space without food. Pick it up, run back to the safe spot. Again, we just wait. The guys will eventually walk from the top. There they are. Now these big guys are the 200s. Those are the big rangers. They have low def but high. They can hit hard. These other guys are half and half, the 140s. And this is the guy. These big guys are the two space guys. So this is what I was talking about. We have to take a step back. That way it forces him to take a step left. This also prevents you from going out of the safe spot because this wall right here, you don't want to take one step north of it until you're ready. And we're going to go around the corner, kill this guy. These guys are easy, so there's no real need to kill them in any particular order. Just don't get too far away from that safe spot that you can't see it. Here we go. Prayers off. Wave 3, same thing. Every odd number wave, there will be something showing up in the middle. Okay, as you can see, our prayer renewal has ended, so we're going to overload again. I'm not worried about the damage because we're praying, and it'll give time for the Excalibur to heal me. Take one step back, and then attacks, go forward again. Now, since this is a crystal wave, this little guy here is the one we're going to kill last. So we're going to go over here, kill this ranger. Little guy will start walking towards me. Ignore it. And again, we go to the middle. Now, if the reason why we have these extra foods here is just because this is your initial stages, you're getting warmed up for the day, so there's no reason not to. It's only 3 rocktails, no big deal. But we do have to eat it right now, because we've got to pick this up. Hey, look at that. Our hit points are really high now. Wave 4. No biggie. Stay in your melee armor again. There they come. There's your first mage that's going to be at the spawn point. And now see here, this mage cannot get you. That's why we start at this spot always. Now here's one little trick. We're going to go back to there. We're going to change into our range gear. And we'll take a southwest step 1. And we can range them. These guys can melee you, so you do not want to stand right next to them. You want to stay at least a space away. That way you're only taking 1 type of damage, not 2. When I talk about mages, these are the mages. There are the 400s, which also mage you, but they're the 400s. You'll see them later. Okay, that's dead. Slap on our melee gear. Now here's one thing. You want to go south step first. It makes these guys go south also. Then we're going to run. And here we click around to go around the corner. This leaves the mage trapped behind the other wall. We're going to change back to our range gear and pray mage. I'm going to change it on long just for a second because he's going to come. There he goes. If he hadn't gotten lured, I would have done something. Okay, Dreadnip. They are handy little creatures. But you have to, when you click on it, it will stop your attack. So you have to constantly make sure you keep attacking. I do not advise having auto retaliate on. Okay. Don't worry about the bolts, they're cheap. This was wave 4, so there are no crystals to get this wave. Wave 5, melee gear still. No change. Okay, now you see the blue there means our prayer renewal is about to expire, which means it's going to prayer renewal done first, then overload will finish. and then the printer will finish. So it's all in sequence. Okay, we're back at normal things now. Okay, so we're gonna do prayer renewal, overload, Excalibur. And then we're gonna go take care of this ranger over here. Oh, ranger was first. My bad. I'll lure him there. Always good to remember what was on the other side. Now this one has a crystal. So what you can do is to get him closer to where the crystal is going to spawn, you just go to this northwest side spot, and then when he's a little closer, there's the armadillo. Okay. Now we're going to just slap on the crossbow because, and we'll go to long range, that slows it down because we need to use the armadillos. We're going to click an armadillo. He can't, so now we have to attack it first, and then the armadillo. You must keep attacking it in order for the dreadnought to keep the attack going. You don't have to hit, nothing hits, so it doesn't matter what army you have. And it also at this point, don't be soul splitting and stuff like that because we have to use up another food. Oh, we need another dreadnought. Sometimes the dreadnought gets stuck behind you. Okay, crystal. Eat, grab crystal, run. And while running, put the rapier back on. Wave 6. And another melee armor. No biggie. Now see, if we hadn't been in the safe spot and waited until it attacked at the last second, this mage would be getting us right now. And that's not a good thing. Okay, we're gonna put some range gear on. And 1 step southwest. Then you do that. Now you can take another step here, and if you want, you can do a tread nip then. The reason you have to take a second step over is because the dreadnought tends to spawn on your side and it needs that space to walk upwards. Now I know this may seem like a lot of armor changing, but it's so easy. Range per run over here, and start killing. Now, there was the ranger first there, so we got to kind of lure it to come through, pause, run, and then run around. And he's trapped. Now, my overload ran out, but I'm not worried about that because this is just one guy. Let's see, Dreadnought came out nicely. And safe spot. And melee gear once again. Constantly keep an eye on, oops, yeah, that you want to stay on lunge. That way it's rapid stance. So sometimes when you're playing around with the long distance things, you got to remember to always put it back to rapid. Okay, 2 rangers. Take a step back. There we go. Run south, run west, around the corner. Okay, it's saying you can see the mage is next one in line. So we're going to crossbow on. And also, keep an eye on your prayer. At about this stage, it's going to be running a little low. We're going to use, so, well, actually, let me explain here in a second. I'll lure this guy first. There he goes. Yeah. We're going to use the super prayers for this because we haven't needed the Sarah Brews. And again, if you don't have super prayers, you would just use your regular restores. But just, it's not worth topping off the thing because if for some reason you have to spam click your Sarah Brews, you're going to have to use your restores anyways. So best to just keep your prayers low. At about the 300 mark is where I start to worry. 200 is really worried. I've been down to 99. Didn't think anything of it. Only one time did I forget, and I was at Jad with 99. It's like, okay, take a safe spot. Prayer. Okay, this next crystal we do not want. So we're just going to come back to the safe spot. Basically, you're going to have magic, restoration, and invulnerability first. And the other missing one we don't deal with yet. That doesn't come till later. Okay, melee armor again. This was the 400 I was talking about. It is a mage also, but it can also smack you hard melee. Beware. So we're going to run south, run all the way west, then go around. The 400 can't get you if you run all the way west first. If you run from here and go diagonally up, he might smack you right here. So, okay, kind of low. So we're going to take a little super. Okay, 500 life points, or 500 per points. Good job. I'm going to put some range gear on and go to town. If for some reason you don't feel comfortable with having your range gear on and taking these on, slap on your Ganodermic. It's a one type fits all. Get a little bit less attack, but you get a lot more defense. I'm going for maximum damage. That's why I put my range gear on. And it's dead. Wave 9 is melee gear again. Notice the theme here? Oh, all of this stuff is melee gear. At least the first one. There's my little step back. Attack animation. Attack. Now there's 6 rangers here. This one, we're going to go kill the west ones first. As you've noticed, I tend to kill the west side first. It's because that way you're closer to your safe spot. Because after these 6 rangers is Jad. First of them. Now we're going to go a little bit north. Hopefully that'll lure one away. Yep. And now we only have to deal with one at a time. Now, our renewal has ended. So we're going to do this before the Jad wave. Reason being, we want to be able to heal up with the overload before it's done. Here. Okay, it should be another strength crystal, or a strength crystal this time, I should say. We don't need it. You can see, not there. These are the 2 crystals that we don't get. So it'll go magic, and then 2 crystals we don't need. Okay, we're gonna slap on our Armadyl stuff. Get the spell going. Now, you can take a couple steps west, and like here, and there's nothing, you can't see him. He is right there though. This guy we're going to ignore for now. Okay, prayer is okay, hit points are okay. We're going to turn on deflect missiles and then go at it. Now I'm going to be quiet for this thing because got to pay attention. Okay. Do not turn your prayer off too soon right after that last animation. He will show that he'll die, but the blast is still coming to you. And we still are overloaded. Yay. Okay, Ranger there, so we're just going to slap on back to our melee gear. Easy enough, right? Oops, forgot to turn Armadillo off. There we go. There will be a cutscene after this, and we'll move on to part 2.